Welcome to this 10-minute Tuesday episode of The Real Game.
Rebounding, better transition, better whatever it is, better taking care of the ball, better communication. We control everything about this game. We control the offense, the defense, the tempo. It's our game to control. We'll throw a press at them, but we'll slow them down, all right? We will go Villanova some, mix up the defenses. We'll go 2-3, we'll go man. I don't want to come in here at halftime and read the halftime sheet, the stat sheet, and us be up to 14 or 15 turnovers on it, especially against that team. Honestly, against any team we play, that should never be the case.
Welcome back to this 10-minute Tuesday episode of The Real Game. It's good to be back on the air today after being off for a few weeks. I wanted to start the episode by telling you that tonight's episode is sponsored by Tooth Shower. I wanted to bring to your attention the importance of wearing mouth guards, especially for athletes wearing braces. Studies have shown that mouth guards can effectively prevent dental injuries during collisions with players and equipment. They also help reduce the risk of time lost from school, practice, and competitions due to dental injuries. So we've all had kids who have had braces or have lost teeth in competition because of running into equipment, running into other players, and we cannot stress enough the importance of protecting those young teeth with mouth guards. And in addition to mouth guards protecting their braces in their teeth, would like to introduce you to the Tooth Shower. The Tooth Shower is a shower-powered water flosser that can help athletes with braces maintain better oral health. You can find out more information about the Tooth Shower at toothshower.com. That's toothshower.com. And I can tell you right now, this is a great product. I've only been using it for a couple days because I just got mine, but I'll be talking about it a little bit more in a few of my upcoming episodes. But I'm glad to have them on as a sponsor, and head on over to toothshower.com to find out more about this product. So I mentioned at the beginning of the episode that I have been off for a couple weeks. I had to have knee surgery about 2 weeks ago. So I was off a little bit for that. So it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I've been able to record an episode. So I'm happy to be back. I was thinking a little bit about just 10 minutes that I could cover today and what that topic would be like. So I zeroed in on the topic of communication. Communication as coaches. Well, actually anybody, honestly, if you are a individual who has to communicate with others at any point in time, whether you're a coach, a teacher, a boss in the workplace, or anybody, really, we could all improve on our communication skills. But I want to just zero in. Obviously, this is a podcast for coaches, so I want to talk about how we as coaches can communicate better. And let's face it, a big part of our job, or most of our job as coaches, is learning how to communicate what we are trying to teach effectively to our kids, right? To our athletes. So I did a list here of ways that we can communicate better. I have 10 things, and I'm honestly probably only going to get to 2 or 3 in 10 or 12 minutes. But I'm going to do my best here to go through these quickly and concisely. And hopefully this can help you, as you get ready to, perhaps you're wrapping up a season. I know for us, soccer and volleyball is getting ready to head into tournament time, but we'll be starting basketball season soon. Hopefully this can help you, learn to communicate better with your athletes. So let's just dive right into it here. Point number 1, I have active listening. Active listening. What does that mean exactly? Have you ever been involved in a conversation where the person you're talking to, you feel like they are just listening so that they can talk and get their point across? So they're not really listening. They're just kind of listening for a break in the conversation. All right. I feel like coaches, we need to learn how to be better active listeners. How to listen to our athletes in a way that they know that they're being heard and we understand what they are telling us or what they're trying to communicate to us, and not just having the attitude that what we have to say is the most important thing and what they have to say perhaps isn't as important. We can learn sometimes from what our athletes have to say, but we have to learn to listen actively. We have to learn to listen to what they are saying in order to be able to respond effectively in a way that's going to be most helpful to them. All right. So active listening. The next thing I have is nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication. And I think I've alluded to this on here in my podcast, a few different episodes about body language and facial expressions, but I could probably do a whole episode just on body language and how important that is. A lot of times as coaches on the sidelines or during practices, we say one thing verbally, but our body language says something different. I think we need to be better at aligning what is coming out of our mouth and our body language and making sure that they're on the same page. It's easy to say, it's easy to yell out, hey, that it's okay. It's okay. Get the next play or make the next play or get the next ball or whatever. And be encouraging that way. But if your body language communicates something different, that's what they're going to remember. I'm honestly, I would say I'm pretty bad at this. Like I say things from the sidelines as a coach, and I know that my body language sometimes communicates how I'm really feeling. So I think it's important as coaches to maybe learn how to control that body language and make our body language match what we're trying to say. Another thing is facial expressions. That's the same thing. Like a facial expression can communicate a lot that verbal communication can't. Our facial expression is so important. Our gestures are so important. So combine those three things, body language, facial expressions, and gestures. And how can we be better as coaches in communicating that way? The next thing is clear and concise communication. I think it's so important, especially, well, all the time, but at the beginning of the year, to communicate clearly and concisely what you expect from your athletes. This helps with a lot of things. It helps avoid misunderstanding. It helps avoid frustration on the part of your athletes. It's very important for you as a coach to learn to communicate exactly what you're trying to say and exactly what your expectations are. There's no need to beat around the bush. There's no need to, hide what you're saying necessarily, but learn how to communicate clearly with your athletes in a way that they understand and in a way that sets up your expectations for them as players so that they aren't frustrated because maybe you never really told them what your expectations are for them. So they're expecting one thing and you're expecting something completely different from them. And that's not how it works. Every athlete should know going into the season and throughout the season what you expect from them, and learning how to communicate that to them is important. Okay, because of time, this is the last one. Effective questioning. Effective questioning. Let's face it, kids don't always communicate with you as a coach. All right. Sometimes you have to learn how to dig a little deeper and ask the right questions at the right time. Right. So you are going to have kids with that want to tell you something. Maybe they're not going to know how to do it, or maybe they are not that great at communicating themselves, but you can sense that they have something to say. Sometimes you just need to learn to ask questions. You need to learn to get that out of them, learn how to draw that out of them with asking the right kind of effective and leading questions to get the information that might be hiding there under the surface. All right. I hope that these few things were helpful to you today. I know that this isn't a long episode. This is just a 10-minute episode to kind of get my podcast ball rolling, if you will, here. And like I said, it's been kind of a weird last 2 or 3 weeks with being out with surgery and everything and trying to recover from that. But I'm happy to be back. We will in the next few weeks be having some more guests with us and talking about some exciting things. So I hope you're willing to join us and kind of get back into the action here. I'm super excited about basketball season coming up, so I've been preparing a lot for that. So I'm sure we'll discuss some of that here in the next few weeks. I hope you've enjoyed this 10-Minute Tuesday episode of The Real Game. I want to leave you today with a quote by Hall of Fame basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski. The quote is this: "Effective teamwork begins and ends with communication." So good luck, coaches, and coach on.